everybody, to the Something in the Air podcast. I'm meteorologist Joe Martucci here at the Press of Atlantic City. New episodes first and third Wednesdays of every month. And I'm not going to lie, I've been really excited about doing this show for a couple of weeks. Not only because the guy next to me has a really cool looking suit, but because I really wanted to get into the weather culture, here. People who love the weather, who talk about the weather, they're on social media. And what better way to do this? We're going to start off with Instagram, and we're going to say hello to SGT_Snowflake 609, aka Sergeant Snowflake, aka John Saltzman, down in Cape May. Sergeant Snowflake, looking good here tonight.
Thanks, brother. Looking good yourself, man. Always wearing that fly tie, man. You're always rocking a really awesome tie.
Well, listen, I knew you were going to wear a suit today, so I had to show you up. I had to at least match you. Let's put it. You showed me up, but I had to try to match you as best I could. Let's start off how you became Sergeant Snowflake and your first taste of Cape May fame.
Well, it started with all of my friends on Facebook, actually, always asking what the update was going to be, because I would always watch, let's say, the international version of weather for our local area, and I'd say, hey, that's going to be wrong. We have a very different situation going on down here, and then you have like our local weather, which does a great job, and we have our little bubble down here, and I call it the Cape May bubble, and it's this peninsula that sticks off about 17 miles into the Atlantic Ocean, and we have different weather down here than I think a lot of people give it credit for. Anyway, so my friends would always ask me, hey, what's it going to be? It's going to be, we're getting 3 to 6 inches. I said, no, it's going to be 1 to 2. And I would always somehow end up closer to the truth, right? So I decided, hey, let me make its own page. And how it came about was we made a video and went pretty viral. And I happened to have my favorite Cape May Brewery beer in hand and actually made it to the brewery afterwards. And as soon as we got there, everyone started calling me by name, by Sergeant Snowflake, because I made a new page. Like, what's going on? Well, I looked at my phone and I already had like 10,000 views. It was only about a half hour later. Woo, what's going on here? So it really took off after that. It's fun.
And what year was that?
Oh, I think that was 2016, 2017. I think 2016. Well, right in there. I'm not sure exactly.
Right. Now, I know, obviously we talk about the Cape May bubble a lot. I'm a big fan of the Cape May bubble. Well, fan in the sense that I like talking about it. I don't actually want to be in the bubble because I like my snow. But That being said, I believe the storm where you kind of rose to fame, there was a good amount of snow that day, right?
There was. It was one of those coastal storms where, hey, I'm not a meteorologist. I don't claim to be. I go off of my gut feeling, and what I was born and raised here, so I went off my gut feeling, and while it's often right, well, it's always often wrong. And I think that's, you live by the sword, die by the sword. And I owed everybody a beer afterwards because I messed up the forecast, and I gave them one, and apparently everyone liked it.
But you were happy you got your snow at the end of the day.
I love snow. I mean, it's the kids get to stay home from school. We get to build snowmen. We get to go sledding, whatever it may be. Right. Big snow fan.
Now, I don't know if you want to share too many of your secrets, but where did you get that suit from?
This is, I believe Oppo Suits makes the suit. I bought it off a website called Shinesty, which makes some pretty neat gear. I mean, you go on there and it's fun clothing, and it's seasonal and whatever it may be. I bought it for an ugly Christmas sweater competition, and Sergeant Snowflake.
You won?
I did win, Joe.
You do? Yeah, I figured. So, tell us, you've grown up in Cape May your whole life. Your family's in Cape May. Tell us, what the culture is about weather. What do people say about the weather? I know we're talking about the Cape May bubble, but what are the things about the bubble that people usually talk about?
Well, if you think about what the locals talk about, we're a fishing community, a shore community, and we have our own strange little system down here, right? And we just don't necessarily fall into the cookie cutter weather of everywhere else. It's very unique. And I think where people take special interest down here is because there's so many fishermen. You spend a lot of time out on the water. You have to spend a little bit of extra time thinking about weather before you take your fishing vessel or whatever vessel you're going out on out to sea. So you spend a little bit more time looking at the weather, and generationally, it's passed down. Hey, if this is going on, you might want to watch out. And much like if you were to go to some indigenous land somewhere that don't have meteorologists, but I guarantee you're going to find someone that might know what's going on with the weather, as opposed to, the science involved with it. So yes, there is science involved with it, and there's also maybe a little bit of local knowledge that goes on with this kind of places.
I mean, I won't even push back with you on that, because for the longest time, up until 1950s or 60s, there were no computer models, right? So you were going off of, hey, what's going to happen? What are the weather charts showing? Is the sun going to come out tomorrow? I'm looking, some red sky at night, sailors delight, those kind of things. Right. But I would say, I was just thinking about myself. I bet you there was, weather observers in 1800 that were definitely looking at the current weather even more than a meteorologist is, because that's all you had. You had to see where the winds were blowing, what the tides were, absolutely, what were the winds a couple of days before. I mean, it's a big deal, and that's how you had your first weather observers. So just paying attention to the weather. I think that's how most meteorologists and weather enthusiasts just kind of grew to love the weather.
Absolutely. I guarantee, of course, they don't have the amazing technology that you get to work with, but, they have those primitive ways of figuring it out. And somehow I'm sure they are wrong more often than not. But at the same time, red sky at night, sailors delight is, red sky in the morning, sailors take warning. It's a real thing. You're out there on the ocean. I don't know what it is, Joe. I don't know the science behind it, man. I don't leave that up to you, but for us down here, we live and die by that kind of thing.
No, I hear you. Listen, I tell people all the time, I'm from New Jersey. I'm not from South Jersey and not from Cape May County. But when you get down to Cape, when you're in Lower, when you're in Villas, when you're in, whatever, Cape May, people talk about the weather. And it's not just like, oh, it's sunny today. It's like, I get questions like, Joe, like, it feels like it's been like really windy the past couple of Aprils. Is there something to that? Like, I've never got those questions before. No one talks about, oh, it's been windy the past couple of Aprils. So I end up going looking it up. But yeah, you guys, everyone down in Cape, a lot of love to you guys. You care about your weather. You care about your Cape May bubble. And people care about you too, of course, being on Instagram. Now, let me ask, Instagram, right? That's, mainly where you're doing your business here. Have you ever thought about moving on to Twitter or maybe TikTok?
I just opened a TikTok account recently, and I have to ask my daughter how to work that, because she is rocking TikTok right now.
Oh, okay. Is she a TikTok celebrity?
Not yet. I'm sure she will be one day. Okay. It might be in the bloodline.
Right.
Truthfully, Joe, I really haven't gained a heck of a lot on Instagram. It really started on Facebook. And, I just posted a Facebook video, and that's where it went viral. It wasn't quite on Instagram. I started that up recently. It wasn't even, that was an afterthought.
Right.
If I thought about it ahead of time, I would try to monetize it and start on YouTube first and then create a link. That's how you monetize these things.
That's right.
But
there's always a way to make money, man.
Live and learn.
That's it. Yeah, live and learn. That's okay. What do you like? So let me ask you then, what do you like best about Facebook for doing your stuff? I mean, I know you just started there, but there's got to be something you like about it. You keep going back to it, right? So what do you like about talking with other people about weather on Facebook?
Well, I'll tell you what, and like I said, even though I ventured recently into Instagram, I'm kind of more on there, but it's with both of them, it creates a discussion about the weather. And you get to argue and hear different opinions about what Joe Schmo or whoever has to say about it, and whatever. No, I'm sorry, Joe. I mean the other Joe, some other Joe that you don't know. He's from down here in the bubble, and he has zero capability. But they'll all come on there and they'll say what they're going to say, and you know how social media is. You get those keyboard warriors on there, and they'll fire away, but it's fun. It's all good fun to me. I love it. I love the back and forth and the open discussion. Mainly, I just like the local aspect on our very unique weather system down here, and I love jumping on it. Cape May bubble, man.
Cape May bubble, and it's even different than the rest of the shore. I mean, Monmouth County, you talk about Long Branch, that might as well be 1,000 miles away compared to what happens in Cape May. I mean,
is that Canada?
What happened? What's that?
Is that Canada?
Yeah, I think it's
Oh,
in
they have that
Canada.
maple leaf on their flag. Yeah, I think anything
Yeah.
above the Parkway Bridge to me might as well be Canada. All right, Atlantic City, I don't care, man. That's
it. Listen, you're not the only person who said that down in Cape, and I know there's a lot of people who agree with you there. Talk about the differences within Cape May County, though, because we're recording this on the 17th of February, but on let me look at my calendar, the 11th, you guys in Cape May, I like to say the bubble retreated, but it didn't go away completely because what you had in Cape May was different than what was happening in Ocean City, and you were talking about it.
How about that? So I actually posted a video about it. I was driving down the Parkway. Actually, I was driving up the Parkway. I recorded it on my way back down, but on the way up, I noticed it. As soon as you hit Cape May Courthouse around exit 10 on the Parkway, I started to see accumulating snow on the ground on either side of the Parkway. And once I got up to about Sea Isle, Ocean City, it was significant. We're talking maybe a snow day for the kids. Meanwhile, 17 miles to the south, we have no accumulated snow the next day. Even later on that morning, we had nothing, man. We had about I don't know if there's an inch on the ground, whatever, but it was gone pretty quick. It faded out. And up there a day later, there was still accumulated. There was, I don't know if there's maybe 4 inches on the ground. And I thought that was pretty cool. How quickly that weather pattern must have shifted, whatever it was. We were right on the shelf to where, of course, the bubble kicked in and we got nothing. But our neighbors to the north, one zip code to the north, got it all,
I know. Yeah, I usually think it's like courthouse, Cape May Courthouse, where you have that line.
It is.
It's raining most of the time to, it's not raining as much over there. And of course it's different than, you talk about Hamilton, they're always getting their snow over there. But did you know that Cape May actually had the highest ever snowfall in the state at 34 inches?
Joe, I think that was recently challenged. That was recently challenged, was it not? I think they may have just beaten that up in North Jersey this very season.
Yeah, there's a little debate still. Dave Robinson, state climatologist, my birthday buddy. We have him on first Wednesdays of the month. He is the one who is pretty much in charge of that. He's still looking into it. There was a 35.1 in Mount Arlington. That's in Morris County. There was actually a higher number in Lake Mohawk, which is in Sussex County. He threw that out. He said that wasn't legit because they cleared the snowboard too frequently. But yeah, we're gonna see Cape May might go down, and that record's from 1899. So
wow.
Did the bubble exist back then?
Joe, I don't know. If you think about just basically climate change, if there was a bubble back then, maybe it was down on the Delmarva Peninsula instead, down by Cape Charles instead of up here in Cape May. And as the climate changes, which we all are aware of, it feels as though we're right on that shelf now. And maybe back then we were the old Cape Cod, getting a ton of snow. And
yeah.
I don't believe the bubble existed back then.
Eventually.
I don't.
I think the bubble moves over time.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
Okay. That's cool.
I don't know what it was called back then or what's going to be called in another 100 years, but hey, for now it's a Cape May bubble, man.
Right. There's only one Sergeant Snowflake to talk about the bubble.
You got it. Somebody's got to run this army.
Now, let me ask you, because you are a snow fan, right? But I say it's people who are snow fans in Cape May County. I have no shame asking this question. Don't you feel like you should move to another part of New Jersey to get more snow? I mean, people move to Cape May to get less snow.
Oh, and leave Cape May?
I'm just asking the question. I'm just asking the question.
We're treading on like really thin ice here. Absolutely not. I'm never leaving this town. This town is This town is my pride and joy, my love. My kids surf here. They grew up here. I grew up here. It is just a wonderful place to live. Okay. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, even though we don't get a lot of snow, and I love snow. I'll go up to the mountains and snowboard for that.
Okay. Where's your favorite snow spot?
Oh, my favorite snow spot. That's tough. I love Hunter Mountain.
Okay.
It's close, but I do love Okemo too. I would say Okemo, but Hunter Mountain is a close second. Great spot for the kids. A lot of memories there.
Where is Okemo?
Okemo's in Vermont.
Okay.
Only about a half hour away from Killington. It's a little less crowded and real nice. Yep.
I've been to Killington before. We had our Northeast Storms Conference when I was at Rutgers a couple of years up there over in Vermont, which was a good time. That's another podcast. Well, all right. Hey, Sergeant Snowflake, we appreciate the time. Before we wrap up, let everybody know where they can follow you for observations within the Cape May bubble.
All right, man. Hey, check it out on Sergeant Snowflake 609 SGT_Snowflake 609 on Instagram and SGT Snowflake on Facebook. And stay tuned, and I'll try to figure out a TikTok to make as well. And I want everybody to stay Star Spangled awesome.
Love it. So
All right.
Snowflake. Appreciate the time, my man. Thanks for coming on.
All right. Have a good one. Thanks, Joe.
Take care.
Hey everyone, I'm meteorologist Joe Martucci at the Press of Atlantic City. Every time I do a talk, I say, if I could take this job again, I'd take it 10 times out of 10. I'm the only meteorologist at a newspaper in New Jersey. And down here in southeastern New Jersey, you all know weather matters more. Whether it's for farming, it's for the beach, or for your business. Weather plays a huge role here, and I'm making sure I'm doing things that cater to you. Whether it's talking about if your street's gonna have coastal flooding, or whether you need the air conditioner on at night at the shore. We're the only place that's doing a mainland and shore 7-day forecast. We're the only ones that are talking about whether your street is going to have coastal flooding. And that's why I want to keep this going.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Something in the Air podcast, brought to you by the Press of Atlantic City. And now, for our second one, we're hopping over from Instagram over to Twitter. We're talking with the man who makes it go down on the BM. That's a little inside weather joke for you. That's Marc Franz. That's Weatherman Franz on Twitter. Marc, I got to ask you, did you choose Weatherman Franz as your handle because it rhymed?
Actually, no. In high school, kids used to come to me for the weather all the time. And this one kid used to just call me, hey, Weatherman Franz, I guess because it rhymed in his way. So I just went with it. I stuck with it, and I used it ever since.
Okay. Well, hey, your friend did you pretty good. You are in Central Ocean County, although your location says, and I'm looking now, quote, Jersey Shore / Mid-Atlantic / Northeast / chaos. Where's that chaos part? Is that like a mental state or is that a physical state?
Both at times with weather, both for sure. I do recall, I'm not sure if it's still true, we were the #1 disaster county in the US at one point. So we've had our share of chaos, I would say, that's why I live here. Many people want me to move. I love snow, so I've thought about moving away, but in the end, this is where I'm from. This is my roots. I love the area. You get all types of weather, all types of extremes. So I love the chaos.
You know, it's funny, so you're in Ocean County, right? I mean, plus is in Atlantic, and then we had Sergeant Snowflake on earlier. He's in Cape May, and everybody's saying the same thing. I love snow, but I don't love being here for snow. And I'm like, I know. I was saying the story before. I said when I came down here, I knew that I wouldn't get as much snow as some of my other friends up north or out west. So, it's a bitter pill we have to swallow sometimes, especially over the past 3 weeks. But it is nice to be by the shore. You can't beat that. So, snow and by the shore is a pretty good combo, if I do say so myself.
Exactly. I mean, you get your fair share every once in a while. It's not like you miss out all the time. And many people live here for, the reason of not having a lot of snow, sadly. But I didn't choose it. That's where I grew up. Otherwise, I would have been somewhere else probably.
Right. Yeah. So growing up, just tell me, when did you start being interested in weather?
Oh, geez. Starts back in the 90s. Many can relate to this storm, the blizzard of 96, of course. I wasn't very old yet. I was a little kid, tiny kid, an infant almost. I was at my aunt's house with my mother. We walked there, only a couple streets away we lived. I was so excited to be with my cousins, looking out the window. I remember looking out the window, seeing the snow was piling up. I was excited. Didn't really know what it was like because I was too young at the time. My mother and my aunt wound up getting into an argument. And I was so devastated. My mom's like, let's go. We're leaving. We're going home. I'm like, oh, no, this can't be happening. So we wound up walking home in the snow for about a mile or so. I recall as I was walking down the street, just got a glimpse of the snow piles just to the side of me, almost to my height, my shoulder height. And at first, I would have thought I would have been a little scared, a little petrified of like what I was seeing. But I was so excited. I was so happy. It just brought joy and smile to my face. And I think ever since then, it just clicked, and I love snow ever since. And I just wanted it.
Yeah. I tell people all the time, whenever I do talks, I say, if you like weather, you usually liked it for a really, really long time. And oftentimes it's like those big events, like you said, blizzard in 96. I mean, we're going to have a whole new generation of meteorologists from Sandy, in 2012. So there's
Wow.
always no shortage of huge events. I bet you even, some North Jersey weather people are going to get become meteorologists and weather enthusiasts just from the snow that they had, when they had
Absolutely.
30 plus inches of snow in some places. That's enough to make you interested in weather for a long time.
No, for sure. I mean, I can't say I remember many exciting, huge events here in the 90s. Of course, there were a couple here and there. We got our mixes that ruin a lot of it. But in like 2003, 2009, of course, 2010, 11, the more popular years everyone talks about,
The good old days.
a lot of those, a lot of those generations got used to the big events. I think that's what people lost touch of reality for a while there. And, it's kind of come back the last couple of years. I mean, it's been a little more harsh than it should have been, in my opinion, but I think we're making up for a little excess snow over the past decade or so, but it was due.
Yeah, I agree. The karma's coming back with us here on the snow. So,
Sure.
let's talk about Twitter a little bit. So, I like to say that I like to say to myself, when it comes to the Jersey Shore, you're one of the, probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest weather observer out there. I mean, you have pinned on your page right now your heaviest snow in 3 years from the snow on January 31st. So, people love seeing the stuff that you got. You got 6,800 views on that video. So let me ask, like, how'd you get started with Twitter? And why Twitter? Why not Facebook? Why not Instagram? I know you have a Facebook page, but you definitely do most of the dirty work on Twitter.
Right. Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't realize I had that many views on it. I'm just such a dork and I love it so much. I just post what I feel and go with it. But I'm honestly honored to have the following I have. I didn't expect it. I really just started mainly in high school, a little before Sandy with the big snowstorms, 09, 2010. I started forecasting for myself. I belonged to little blog pages here and there. And I started telling friends, and friends would start telling friends, and people start seeing my forecast. Nobody believed me. People are like, what are you, a weatherman? What are you trying? I'm actually like, that's what I'd love to be. So I kind of got started with Facebook back in 09, 2010-ish. Then I moved over to Twitter because it's more up to date, more timely, more accurate. You get more information quicker. You can relay it to people because obviously I love snow and I love the weather, but my main goal is to warn people and to have people prepared for what is coming. So that's the main goal in it. So I thought it was a better way to branch out and kind of show people what I can do. And I'm here. I don't try to hype. I try to do it right. I try to have fun with it. As you can see, I'm sure you follow me. I appreciate you sticking with me. I'm sure I'm a little much at times, but I try to have a good time and spread the joy to other people.
No, I mean, I love, whether it's a photo of you barbecuing out, I think you did that a couple of days ago, right? Or was that today? I can't remember. You're barbecuing out with the sunshine.
Probably every day. I think I barbecue. So yeah, today too, for sure. Yeah.
You're one of those guys. You barbecue. Doesn't matter if it's snowing out, sleeting, you're out there.
You know it. I love being out there.
Yeah. But, I think one of the things actually, and it's not just me who said this, whether Twitter definitely knows this, but other people have said, you keep all of these old forecast maps from the National Weather Service and like different setups from 2012. And we're all first of all, what made you think of saving them that long ago? And where do you keep them? Because on a serious note, it is a great way to compare and contrast an upcoming storm with a different forecast from before. So
Absolutely.
To have those maps, those National Weather Service forecast maps are that was pretty good foresight on your part.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, obviously we had our share of misses, and it hurt a lot as a kid. I didn't get many snow days, I feel like. So I wanted to save anything I could that brought joy and all the good snow times that we could remember and look back and reminisce. And especially the last couple of years when things have been a little slow, just to remind us, hey, it can be good. It only takes one big one, stuff like that. You got to make the best of it all. But I just know in my mind when events happen around here, I want to make sure I have these from memory. So I store them away. I have to also thank, my phone transfer for saving a lot of my photos. I have lost many, many good ones from the Boxing Day blizzard. My phone zapped, camera zapped, and the snow was so heavy. I had some thunder snow, even videos, but I have enough. I just make sure to save what I can, just to remember. I'm actually in the process of creating a whole album for every snow event with all different pictures and forecasts and all that. So hopefully whenever that's done, I'll try to share what I got. But basically just for the love and just for everybody else too, so they can remember and smile a little bit, just to bring back some memories, or hate it. Not everybody loves snow. So I have to say that.
Well, yes, it brings out snow is almost like politics, right? It brings out strong feelings in everybody.
Yes.
People,
both sides, of course.
I think a lot of people like turning to you because you're like a night watch guy for observations on what's happening with snow and sleet. 2 a.m, 4 a.m, you're there, man. You're doing it.
I don't sleep. That's for sure. I work 2 jobs, so I work days and overnights. So there's really not much time for sleep. A lot of it, I sleep maybe 3-4 hours, get a quick nap in. But if snow's coming, forget it. There's no way I'm sleeping if something's coming.
How much sleep today? Today's Tuesday. How much sleep did you get today?
Honestly, not much. I want to say not too much, but enough to be awake and enjoy myself. But I feel like I don't need much. I think it's all in the weather keeps me going. That's my sleep. That's my energy.
Man. That's it.
That's it.
Why do you think people, like to follow you on Twitter? I know you kind of touched on it, but just kind of all encompassing.
I want to believe it's because people trust me. Because I want to believe I'm decently accurate. I want to feel like I know what I'm doing. But also maybe because people just like the way I go about it. I just say how I feel. I don't listen to people telling you how to forecast this way or that way. I drown out the noise. I just do what I do, and I love it. I think people appreciate it. It's more of like a personable weather person. I feel like I can relate to people. I'm not just your, straight cut, clean. I'm fun and goofy and could be serious if I have to be. But so I think it might be that. I'm not sure. What do you think, Joe?
Well, I told you I like watching you. I like following you for the night watch stuff, see what's going on, and the maps. I mean, those weather service forecast maps from back in the day are just incredible. Maybe it's just because I'm a meteorologist, but to think like in 2013, I'm going to save this and I'm going to put this on Twitter 7-8 years later. It's pretty incredible, man. So I got to give it to you. That's pretty awesome.
Thank you.
Where do you see? Well, let me ask you this. So you've been on Twitter for 10 years. How have you seen Twitter change when it comes to weather? And I'll say, give me one for the better and one for the worse. How about that?
For the better, like I said before, with the more timely and accurate information weather-wise, things are shown to people and people are able to see it more quickly. More up-to-date, more rapid information, I guess you could say, is a benefit of Twitter for sure, especially people that don't know what's going on. You get more information. A lot of companies are on Twitter now. You can contact pretty much anybody you want on Twitter. The downfall is that everyone has access to Twitter. Anybody with snow maps, anything they want to show with 2 to 4 feet, 5 feet of snow over them, type stuff like that. That's kind of the downfall, I think, of Twitter. I know at one point the European model couldn't be shown for legal purposes, but then of course that was taken away, and the European map was a popular thing all the time. Anytime it showed 3-4 feet, it was shown. I think that's a downfall too. You have a lot of younger kids, of course, passionate, want to be meteorologists one day. Just kind of need to slow the roll a little bit. You get a lot of misinformation. You got to know who you're following. Some people are more trustworthy than others. Like I said, you got to know who you're following, really.
Yeah, I think that's true, Frank. Whether it's Facebook, Twitter, website, Instagram, you want people to trust you. Well, I'll ask you 2 more questions. How about second to last question, more serious question? Sure. I see a lot of your tweets sometimes. You got little GIFs going, you got little emojis, you all put, sometimes you thread them all together. I'm wondering how you do that. Is that on Instagram and you're saving it and then posting it to Twitter?
I use sometimes Instagram. It's actually really convenient what you can do on there. I actually have a video shop app I download. You can
okay, that's the secret.
Yes, download video shop. Looks like a little old camera. Pretty much you can download a bunch of videos and pictures. You can impose them on there. I'm trying to learn how to do more editing to it to figure out how to have a little more fun with it, but I've add some songs to spice it up sometimes. I got some negative feedback on songs here and there, but people just got to understand it's just for fun. But little video shop, little editing to make it more exciting to look at.
All right, last question. I want to do a fill in a blank here. Are you ready for that?
Sure.
Okay. At Marc Franz's house, the winter of 2019-2020 was
depressing.
I would agree with you there. 0 snow during the calendar year of 2020. Second least snow at Atlantic City International Airport. one of the lowest in South
Yeah,
Jersey.
I had about 1.4 inches that year. It was sad. I could say a few more things about the year, but I'll just go with that. Depressing
Right.
was the best.
When we do the R-rated version of the podcast, then
Yes.
we'll have you back on.
Awesome. I'm ready for it for sure.
Perfect. Great. Mark, let everybody know where they can give you a follow on Facebook and Twitter, and then we'll wrap it up.
Cool. You can follow me on Facebook at Mark's Weather Reports. I also contribute to NJ Weather News and occasionally Weather New Jersey with Jonathan Carr, mainly him. On Twitter at Weatherman France. Follow me if you want to know the best and most accurate information. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Perfect. Mark, thanks so much, my man.
God bless. Appreciate it, Joe.